Hello everyone, welcome to Marine Technical School. This is Devabrat Majumdar. Today I will describe about exhaust gas cleaning system. On board it is known as scrubber system. It has normally two types, closed loop and open loop. Here we will describe about closed loop exhaust gas cleaning system. In open loop, exhaust gas is cleaned with seawater, and in closed loop, exhaust gas is cleaned with fresh water. So hello my friends, this is the diagram of closed loop exhaust gas cleaning system. First of all, we need to familiarize with the diagram. Here you can see this is the scrubber unit. In scrubber unit, this is exhaust gas from main engine and exhaust gas out from the scrubber unit. This is the venturi at the exhaust gas piping, and you can see this is the packed bed, one stage and two stages. Here this is water droplet separator. This is the process tank which is filled with fresh water, and you can also fill fresh water. There is also a filling line, and this is the fresh water line. Here this is fresh water circulating pump. You can also see the sodium hydroxide dosing unit. It can be also magnesium hydroxide. This sodium hydroxide is given for the alkalinity purpose. So this sodium hydroxide is used to make the fresh water alkaline, so that salts can be easily separated in the scrubber tower. This is the cooler, and this fresh water is cooled by the seawater. You can see the seawater pump. This seawater cools the fresh water. This seawater line is indicated with the red line, and seawater inlet through the pump, seawater is going to the output side. Here you can see this is pH sensor. This is electrochemical sensor. So this purpose of this sensor is used to sense the pH, that how the alkalinity of fresh water is, because here we are adding sodium hydroxide. And you can see here this is the water treatment tank. From the process tank, some water is going here. This is just like a purifier which purifies this processed water. Yeah, this is last tank. From water treatment tank, the sludges are going to the sludge tank, and the fresh water is going to the holding tank. Here is also some electrochemical sensor which is used for pH sensing, pH sensing and turbidity sensing. So now we will see the circulation of fresh water and seawater. So first of all, we need to know why we will use this exhaust gas scrubber system, because according to the IMO guideline, if we are using fuel having more than 0.5% sulfur, that time we need to use this exhaust gas scrubber system. So whenever our vessel having fuel more than 0.5% sulfur, that time we have to use the scrubber tower in the exhaust piping. So suppose the exhaust gas from the main engine or your generator or boiler is going through the scrubber tower and going out. So basically the main thing is happening in the scrubber tower. See the fresh water circulating pump. So through the process tank, fresh water from the scrubber tower, fresh water is coming here through the process tank. Fresh water is coming here, and here sodium hydroxide is added to give the alkalinity. The alkalinity is used to neutralize the wash water. That means sodium hydroxide is used to neutralize the wash water. Then fresh water is coming here, and here pH is sensed, and the first line, the branch, you can see this fresh water is injected through the spray into the bensurimeter. So in the bensurimeter, as this fresh water injected or sprayed, this turbulence mixture happened at bensurimeter and reduces the temperature of the exhaust gas. That means at bensurimeter the exhaust gas temperature is reduced. That means sulfur dioxide gas temperature is reduced, and there is a turbulence mixture between exhaust gas and the fresh water. So as the turbulence mixture is happened here, exhaust gas going there and exhaust gas going upward through the packed bed. This is packed bed number 1 and number 2. So why this packed bed is given? In the packed bed you see the spiral ring. The spiral ring is used to increase the surface area for the fresh water. In the packed bed, whenever the exhaust gas is coming in contact with the packed bed, what happening here, you can see as fresh water is coming here, fresh water is sprayed into the bensurimeter. Also this line fresh water is sprayed through the sprayer. This is sprayer is sprayed in the this packed bed number 2. Also fresh water is sprayed into the packed bed number 1. So as fresh water is sprayed into the packed bed, the fresh water is in contact with this spiral ring. That means the fresh water surface area is increased. If the fresh water surface area is increased, it will be very easy to clean and cool the exhaust gas. So the purpose of this packed bed is to easily clean the exhaust gas by providing larger surface area. So whenever exhaust gas is coming through the bensurimeter, turbulence mixture is happened and temperature is reduced, and exhaust gas coming here through the packed bed. As it gets the larger surface area, the exhaust gas is cleaned thoroughly and temperature is also reduced, and then exhaust gas is going out. Here is the water droplet separator. Is any water droplet is carried with the exhaust gas, it is separated here, and all the water remaining is going to the process tank. Then through this fresh water circulating pump, the fresh water is circulated. Here you can see the sulfur dioxide by carbon dioxide electrochemical sensor. It senses the sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide ratio. So what will be the ratio? We will know later. So if the fresh water is circulated always in this system, after a while the sulfur content in the fresh water may be high. So what we will do? We need to bleed off some fresh water from the system. That means we need to drain some fresh water from the system and fill some absolute fresh water into the process tank to make up the bleed up. So whenever this fresh water line is densified with the sulfur, as it is cleaning sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide from the exhaust gas, this fresh water is absorbing sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So to reduce the content of sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide from this fresh water line, we need to bleed up some fresh water from this process tank. So whenever some fresh water is bleed up from this process tank, to make up this bleed up, some fresh water is filling into the process tank. So what is the function of this water treatment tank? Some bleed up fresh water is coming here in the water treatment tank. It's just like a purifier. That means it purifies the sludges or some other residues from this bleed up water, and this sludges is going to the sludge tank. So from the sludge tank you can dispose this sludge at the shore disposal, and the fresh water is going there as sludges or other residues is out of the water, and the remaining is fresh water, and the fresh water is going to the holding tank, and from the holding tank you can make the fresh water out from the board. That means it can goes to the overboard. Before going to overboard, we need to measure the pH and turbidity of the fresh water, because some port have the criteria that sometimes we do not have the option to discharge our fresh water. We need to store it in the holding tank. So we need to measure this pH and PAH. PAH means polyaromatic hydrocarbon, and turbidity. Turbidity means hard particles. So according to the IMO guideline, we need to know the sulfur dioxide ppm by carbon dioxide percentage of volume by volume ratio at this point after the scrubber or at the exhaust gas outlet. If we are using 0.1% fuel, that means in ECA area the ratio can be 4.3. That means sulfur dioxide by carbon dioxide ratio can be 4.3. But whenever at global, that means if you are using fuel of 0.5% sulfur, that time the ratio can be 21.7. And the criteria for the discharge water, that means this is the discharge water, and the criteria for the discharge water is pH 6.5 minimum. The pH of discharge water must be 6.5, the minimum range, and temperature 60 degree, that is maximum. That means fresh water temperature cannot be more than 60 degree, and this pH is minimum 6.5. If the pH is less than 6.5, that means we know that it is acidic, but the discharged fresh water cannot be acidic. That's why the minimum pH is 6.5, and the polyaromatic hydrocarbon range is not greater than 50 microgram per liter. That means polyaromatic hydrocarbon particles must not be greater than 50 microgram per liter of discharged fresh water, and the turbidity is 25 F and U, and this is the maximum. F and U is the unit of turbidity. So this is the criteria for this exhaust gas and the discharge water. In the written exam and the oral exam, the examiner may ask the exhaust gas outlet criteria and the discharge water criteria. So you need to know these items. Here also some equations are there. So normally we know the SOx means sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So whenever the sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide is present in the exhaust gas, those equations are happened. In case of sulfur dioxide, as we are adding sodium hydroxide into the fresh water, this fresh water is going to reaction with the sulfur dioxide. So sodium hydroxide plus sulfur dioxide, sodium by sulfite. Sodium hydroxide plus sulfur dioxide, also sodium sulfite. Sodium hydroxide plus sulfur dioxide plus oxygen, and the final reaction is sodium sulfate. If the exhaust gas is having sulfur trioxide, so sulfur trioxide mixed with the fresh water and made sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid react with this alkaline sodium hydroxide and made sodium sulfate plus water. So the final element is sodium sulfate and the sodium sulfate. So if we are discharging sodium sulfate into the sea, there will be no problem, because the sea already have the sulfate ion. That means sea water already contains the sulfate ion. So this is the basic diagram of exhaust gas cleaning system, which is closed loop, and this is fresh water is used to clean and cool the exhaust gas, and sea water is used to cool this fresh water. So there is also some system known as hybrid system. In hybrid system you may use fresh water and you also use sea water, but this is closed loop exhaust gas cleaning system. So hello guys, I hope that you made your concept clear regarding closed loop exhaust gas cleaning system. Thank you for watching the video. Please stay along with the channel and make like, share and comments if you enjoyed the video.